What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast. I'm Kyle, and I'm here with Trevor, and uh, we're starting to let stuff slip, aren't we?
Dude, it was just a weird couple weeks because you went out of town and then my wife's been out of town. So I've had the kids. So I'll
Yeah,
let things slip.
I know. This is the last episode we're ever going to do, by the way. So
Dope. All right. Appreciate you letting me know.
this is the last episode till the next one,
Whenever that is.
whenever that is. Yeah, dude. Yeah, but yeah, man, how you been?
Good, man. Like I said, my wife's been out of town. So it has been a little bit chaotic at my house, but we're surviving. It's
Yeah.
nice having an older kid now because, like,
Mm,
literally, they're all upstairs, and I'm just like, "You're in charge. Have
yeah,
fun. I'm gone for an hour."
yeah. Dude, when they become like semi self sufficient, even like it helps
Yeah,
significantly.
yeah. I mean, we do still have the 1 year old, so it's nice having the 11-year-old to kind of counteract that. But
Yeah.
I have about an hour, like,
Right.
and then I've got to jump back up.
Plus, dude, like an 11-year-old girl is like, I feel like so much better at that stuff. Like, I think about my son that's like close to that age, and it's like, I wouldn't trust him with anything, you know? Not because he's like a turd or whatever. It's just like, he's a guy and he's so oblivious and clueless to like all this stuff that it's like, his sister could be like in serious trouble and he'd just be like off in his own little world, you know?
See, okay. I mean, that's your oldest, but my second child is like that. Like, she is
Okay.
so, like, where we're having a conversation right now, if we were face to face, I'll sit there and be like, "Hey, respond to me, respond to me, respond to me," and
Yeah.
then I'll like yell, and she'll be like, "What? What'd you
Why are you
say?"
yelling? And they're like, why are you yelling at me?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. I'll like,
exactly.
so like I'll tell my son to like fill up my water bottle sometimes when I'm busy. And like I'll unscrew the lid and stuff and then I'll give it to him. And then like 5 minutes will pass and I'll be like, where's my water? So then I'll go into the kitchen and it's just on the counter with the lid off and there's no water. And like he just like grabbed my water bottle, then took it on the counter and then just left it there. It's like
Right,
I don't know what else to do, you know.
right,
But
right.
it's funny.
Uh,
He's a good kid. So
well, good. How was your Mexico trip? I'm glad to see the cartel didn't fully abduct you.
it did. I'm
Just
still pooping
some
balloons out. Yeah,
light
no.
probage.
It was fine, man. Like I know that is a scary thing to see happen, but like that night, even after all that stuff happened, it had like died way down, and we left
Yeah.
the like Wednesday after. So my buddy that I went out with, he called the resort and like asked them, and they're like, "Everything's fine. You guys are fine. Like
Oh, for real.
we're gonna pick you up from the airport. Like it's okay. There's nothing going on at the airport or near the airport. Everything is fine." So like it was business as usual, you know.
Well, that's nice.
So yeah, but it was dope, dude. Like we've gone down to this place before and we love it. It's a good time. It's like one of those all inclusive resorts, you know,
Yeah.
and like the a lot of the excursions that you can do are like included with it. So like we were literally shuttled around by the hotel, and maybe that's why I felt safe too. Is like we weren't out on our own, you know,
Yeah. It does make a
and
difference.
that probably helps. But like, no, man, we did like sick stuff. Did a bunch of swimming. We went and swam in cenotes, which is
Yeah.
incredible. But the water is like freezing.
Oh,
But
for
that was really
real.
cool. Yeah, it was freezing cold because it's like underground water, right? Like
Oh, okay. That makes
so.
sense.
Yeah, dude, it was sick. I loved it down there, and like we yeah like they this resort like they'll do like a taco stand till like 1 o'clock in the morning. So like
Yeah.
we were getting tacos like I don't know. It was great, dude. I
See,
loved it.
and that's what sucks. Like, it's too bad that part of the world like isn't just a little bit more stable because like people would just go live there.
I know.
Like, but there's just this random fear that a cartel member is just gonna pull up on you and it's just gonna be the end.
Yeah, I
So
mean, from experiences being in Mexico for a long time, for the most part, like if you mind your business, you were left completely alone. The hard parts is like getting caught in stuff that doesn't
Yeah.
involve you, right?
Right.
And that's the real fear. Like when I was down there, like I never really I got mugged one time when I was living down there.
Right.
That was it, one time. And it was in the middle of the day. And like some dude asked me for money and I said no. And he pulled a knife out and so I gave him my wallet. And then they took my wallet and left me alone. Other than that, dude,
Right.
like, but like I saw a lot of crap, like there were times where I was like, I should not be where I'm at right now because people
Yeah.
are getting shot,
No,
So
I mean, like we've talked about it before, but even when I was down in Guatemala and stuff, like you open the newspaper and there's just bodies
yeah,
that are just displayed on the front
yeah,
pages. Like one of the most vivid memories I have is like the Zetas decapitated 27 people, and it literally just showed the mounds of bodies like sitting there.
yeah,
And you're just like, all right. And like that
yeah.
was like maybe an hour from where I was.
hmm
And it's just like
It
it's weird.
it is, and I've talked to people like that live down there, and it's like they're so desensitized to it that it's like it's bad because they're desensitized to it, right? It's bad that
Right.
like they're exposed to this stuff and it happens. But he was like, it's also like we're so desensitized to it that it's like we just go about living our lives. And that's like a
Right.
problem, because it's like if you don't feel the urgency to change this stuff
Right.
because you're desensitized to it, like it's not going to change. I don't know, man. It's such a weird dichotomy being in countries like that
It
because
really is.
they're like the nicest people,
Oh yeah.
and like they would literally give the shirt off their back to someone,
Right.
but then on the flip side it's like some of the most like horrendous violence
Yeah.
occurs down
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
it's
I
crazy.
mean, we say that they're desensitized to it, but maybe we're all just sissies. I mean,
Maybe.
maybe I mean more of the
I don't
world
know.
is, it seems like, in line with that kind of stuff, and it's unfortunate, but
Yeah, yeah, I mean we could get into like the politicalness of it and
yeah,
how things
we
happened
don't
and
need
in our crap,
to. Yeah,
that's we're maybe not like the most qualified
no,
for it,
no, we're
but
we are causing mass issues across the world as we
yeah.
speak, so we don't need to dive into all of that.
On to change subject then before we get canceled for being idiots. Do you guys play mahjong? Have you played mahjong
On my phone from time to time, but like the
on your
most
phone?
basic,
Okay,
like minimal understanding possible of what mahjong actually is.
dude, it's like my wife and all of her little friends are just like obsessed with it.
It's the new thing.
It's the new thing, and dude, that shit is so expensive. Like
It's expensive.
a set of tiles, dude. Like an average set of tiles is going for like 300 to $500. I know, it's crazy. And then they're buying all these mats for it, and like you can get like custom designer tiles for like $1,200, and I'm just like, this is crazy.
Listen,
But I
I've got
played
no
it for the
room to
first time.
speak because I'm sitting next to boxes of Magic of the Gathering that are
But are you dropping three?
easily
Are you dropping 500 a pop?
probably 250,
Okay.
a pop, and I'm sitting on 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 boxes over there right now of unopened Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
So, you know,
I guess you have no space to talk then.
yeah. But listen, like, I mean, I have a structure to it. Like, I didn't out of pocket pay for all this stuff,
Mm.
so
Yeah,
it's a little different.
you get to probably a certain point where you've built your own economy with the cards that
Yep,
like you can kind of fund your own hobby, right?
yep, exactly.
Yeah. That's cool. But yeah, I played it for the first time today and like I totally thought I won, but I guess I read one of the stupid hands wrong and I was like, dang it. So I ended up not winning. And I guess if you like claim Mahjong and then, it's like straight edge. If you claim Mahjong, like you claim straight edge, then you sell out and you lose and you're wrong, you die. So So I'm like, I got kicked out of the game because I guess got it wrong, but I didn't understand the rules the first time I played.
You're just not
But
invited back.
it's not invited back, I
You
guess.
have to avoid the shows.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, dude, it's
That's
crazy.
hilarious.
So yeah, it's been I don't know, man. I feel like we haven't talked in a while, and I've got all these stories, and like I'm just gonna word vomit them all now because no one else really appreciated them. So
Yeah.
listen to this, dude. I
Okay.
was at like a. These are like random thoughts by Kyle, and this is what happens when we don't talk very often. I was at like a work thing. We had a guy that I work with that's like leaving. Dude, get this, man. He's like 27 or whatever. He's quitting his work to go start a travel blog for the next
A
year.
travel blog.
A travel
Like
blog,
he's
like
gonna
on
be like a
YouTube.
YouTuber.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
luck, man. Does he
And I'm
have
like,
any
dude,
sort of foundation to it yet?
no,
Oh, dope.
this is
All
like
right.
no. He's just like he's got nothing. And I'm like, dude, have you seen the news? You know, I don't know. Good luck, man.
I mean, listen, if he's willing to take the risk, maybe it will pop off.
Maybe. I hope it
Like,
does, dude. He's a nice guy. I like him. You know,
listen, man, like go travel to the outskirts of some of those areas and
right? Well,
like
he's going to
people
like
watch your content.
he's going to a country in every continent, and he's going to talk about like what freedom means to people. So
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll change my opinion.
All right,
That's not stupid.
it's
Like,
strange, dude. Anyways, okay. So I'm like, we did this like going away dinner,
okay.
and I'm sitting in front of a couple other my coworkers that are like on the older side,
Okay.
probably early 50s. You know,
Yeah.
we get talking about like Instagram algorithms, right? And they're telling about like all the weird videos that pop up on theirs and stuff. And I'm like laughing, you know, because I'm like, all right, like, and I've told people this, right? Like, you can understand this. There's work Kyle, and then there's non-work Kyle, and we're two
Right.
very different people, right?
Right.
Non-work Kyle thinks work Kyle's a douchebag, right? Because it's work Kyle. So, anyways, I'm like trying to like, I thought, you know, I have like a decent relationship with these guys. I thought I could start opening up a little bit more to them, show them a little bit of like non-work Kyle, right? So I make the comment. I'm like, you know, like my Instagram algorithm is gonna be what puts me in jail, you know, because it's like you know I'm on a weird side of the internet, and I was like, my algorithm is so pinpoint that it's not even the videos they're targeting to me. It's even like the comments, and I was like, this one time I got this video, and this is like, we could cut this out. This is gonna get us in trouble. I didn't do this. I just laughed. But there was like a video of like this lady in like Iowa or something. And she's like talking about, and I'm doing this now. I'm like laughing, and they're like, yeah, they were giving me crap because I was laughing, and they're like, it's not funny while I was trying to tell the story. But it was this lady's talking about how like her son's missing, and she's like holding up a picture of her son that's missing. And I'm just like, why? Like, why would Instagram send me this video? So I look at the comments, and the top comment, this is so bad. Somebody had taken a picture of the lady's son, and created a fake Instagram account and was like, "Hey, mom, it's me. I'm fine." And like, dude, I laughed, and I was trying to tell them this, and they're like, "That's not funny," and I'm laughing, and they're like, "That's not funny." So like, it's like awkward silence for like 30 minutes, and then the one guy's like, "Okay, well, here's to you," and he like, you know, like cheers to the guy that's leaving, and I'm just like, dang it, now I feel like a dumbass. Like, I thought these guys could hang. They're telling me all their stories, and like, I guess I took it too far. I don't know, dude. I felt like an idiot. None of them laughed, and I'm over here like, oops.
Listen, that's hilarious because like I feel that like to my soul because like every now and again I'll again kind of let in the podcast or like
Yeah,
who I am outside of work and stuff like that. And I was at a work dinner probably a year and a half ago, um, maybe a little bit longer than that. When after we had uh, Daniel on the podcast
I don't even remember when
from
that was. Was it like October or something?
yeah, something like that, right? From Die Young, and he had just told the story of going to Canada and all the stuff happening in Canada, and what the freak are you doing?
I just took my sweater off, dude. It's warm in my office. Just
So
keep going.
he told the story of like going to Canada and everything, right? And like the Mountie just accepting their idea of like the ammunition box carrying their cables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a coworker, and this guy was originally from Canada. And I was like, dude, you'll love this. You'll get a kick out of this. And I show it to him, and I'm sitting there laughing. And he's just like, yeah, Canadians be like that, I guess. Like, it was the most like dry, no humor, like
Yeah.
no laughing at all. And I'm like, I guess it's more of our scene kind of thing. Like, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So,
I will
but
say, like, to finally tie this back into music, the hardcore scene in general, we do have a very interesting sense of humor compared to like other stuff. Cause like, I don't know, I'm on social media, like even the hardcore subreddit is like, no one takes anything serious. So like everyone's just, I don't know. We probably feel like, yeah, we laugh at all this stuff, but the rest of the world's probably like, you guys are weird, man. You know?
that's fair. But I mean, that's also why we group together. So,
Yeah, for sure.
anyways,
So,
so a couple
well,
things real fast.
yeah.
We haven't talked since you saw Soul Exchange.
Oh,
How was
that's
that?
right. Dude, it was sick. It was at like this comic shop that I've seen shows before. And it's not like the best setup, right? Like it's not the best sound quality, not like professional level stuff, right? Like it's DIY. With that being said, they sounded so good. Like
Yeah,
they just sound so good. For a band this young and stuff and playing this kind of music, they're so tight live. Like everything was on point, dude. It was so good. Yeah, Soul Exchange was amazing. Worst Behavior blew me away, dude. I was not expecting that. And they've been around a long time. And so hearing them play, it's like, yeah, these guys know what they're doing, you know?
yeah,
Again, just super tight. And like that's a hard style of music to play in that kind of situation because they're very metal
sure.
influenced, right? Very crossover thrashy. And man, they sounded so good. They were so good live. And then there was a couple bands before. I can't remember the names of them. It's been a bit.
Well,
Do
you
you
were
remember?
late to the show though,
I
too,
was late to
right?
the show, so I missed like the first two.
Yeah, I don't remember
I
who
don't know
the
what they're
first
called.
one that you
Anyways,
caught
the
was.
last one was a Dallas band called Heat, and they're sweet too. You guys should check out Heat if you haven't listened to them yet, but real good
Yeah,
stuff. So, no, dude, it was tight, like good crowd, like lots of moshing. It was fun. It was real fun.
sick,
So,
sick. And then I went and caught. It was the Ashara show here in Salt Lake with like Forever War and everything. And
yeah,
Forever War basically just played their new EP.
sick.
Sounds so phenomenal. Sounds so good. And I
Yeah,
was sitting there talking to Chris before that. And so that drops like March 24th or something like that. Um, it's gonna be so good.
cool.
Like it was recorded out in Cali at the pit with not Taylor Young, the other Young. What's his name? No, it is I don't remember. The other Young who does the recording stuff. And phenomenal. Like if you
Yeah,
haven't already gone and listened to Pestilence Accepted, like you should go listen to that because it's gonna be probably EP of the year for me. Not only because they're homies, just like seeing them live, that style, like it's everything that I've been enjoying over the last couple years, and I'm stoked for it.
yeah.
So that was cool.
That's
That was a
it.
fun show. And then like shows that just got announced. Crow Killer is gonna play April 3rd again with some local bands. So like that was pretty dope. Have you seen anything coming your way that you're interested in catching?
Shows, Drug Church, which they have a new single.
Oh yeah, with Drip Fed.
I really like it, dude. Yeah, with Drip Fed, Texas band, they're sick. Um, I'm gonna try and make that one because I'm a big fan of Drug Church and Drip Fed. So, um, other than tours, man, I feel like I had a couple, but I've forgotten them. So,
Yeah. The last thing that was sent out was what was that festival they got
Hellfest,
announced? Hellfest.
yeah, crazy lineup, man.
Insane.
And like,
Absolutely insane.
what a sick mix of bands too. You know,
Yeah.
like the headliner, like Glassjaw next to Hatebreed.
Right.
Like that's wild. You know,
Right. No, they pulled out all the stops. That's an
you have
incredible
like
fest.
Disembodied, Elijah, Earth Crisis, Turmoil, Sanction, Weapon X, First Blood,
It's like
100
it's
Demons.
all the hitters,
Dude, it's
man.
everyone. Like this, if you were a fan of hardcore in the last like 15 years, like this is gonna
Yeah.
have everyone that you can think of.
I mean, you can
So,
take it back further than that, man.
a
Like
couple of
with
them, yeah, a couple of them
Hatebreed and
definitely.
Earth Crisis and all those things and stuff like that, 100 Demons. Like you're talking 20-year spans.
That's true. I forget sometimes how old I am.
Yeah.
There's even some names like blurred out. So
Yeah. No,
what's crazy is to
it's
see bands like
wild.
Shattered Realm and Earth Crisis, like Advent's on here.
Yeah.
That's insane too, because they don't really play very much.
No, it's like it's the hitters of the hitters for sure. It's incredible. So no, I'm curious to see how that goes over. I think it's gonna be phenomenal. But yeah, I unfortunately I'm not gonna be making it out to it.
I
So
know it sucks.
odd time.
Just a couple like new songs. Like Bad Operation has 2 new songs. Koyo dropped a new song.
I mean, it's been a minute, but Die Young, the one with All Out War on there, Universal
That's right.
Sin.
That's right. If you're into it, like Frozen Souls got new stuff. What else? I'm trying to think of what else we've sent each other. Poison the Well, I think, had a new song. I don't think we've talked about
Oh,
that.
did they? I haven't heard that
Everything
one yet.
Hurts. It's very like later in their discography sounding.
Okay. On the other
So
side thing, Goalkeeper dropped a new song.
that's right.
Like that's pretty dope. I dig that. So, dude, there's so much good stuff going on right now. There was a ton of EPs that got dropped, and I haven't made my way through them.
Yeah.
But just a ton of just new music in general. We're in the throes of it. I feel like over the next like 2 months, there's just gonna be like release after release after release,
Hmm.
and it's gonna have to we're gonna have to start picking through some of it, see
Yeah.
what is catching our attention. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but
So next time we do this, we'll be more prepared. How about that?
well, I think we have a few interviews coming up, so maybe not.
Yeah. So next time we do this might be like a month, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
We'll be
fair.
more
Okay,
prepared
there you go.
because we'll have a month to prepare.
Fair.
So, all right.
So,
At the topic at hand, let's we're gonna talk a little bit about a metalcore band that some people might like, some people maybe not. Which it's kind of crazy. This might be like a little bit of a, I don't want to say like, what's the word? I don't know. My brain's not working. Anyways, we're gonna talk about August Burn Dread. How about that? This is a
were you
band
trying to say like a like
controversial.
controversial?
It shouldn't
And
be controversial,
it's
but I
not
think it is.
controversial. I think that just the scene that or the uh listeners that we have, maybe it is because I think we have more leaning more towards the hardcore side of things, maybe a little bit less on kind of the produced metalcore aspect. I don't
Yeah.
know how many people are super into that, but here's the thing. Before we even get into it, August Burns Red is a band that everyone was seeing in the mid 2000s, mid to late 2000s. So, like, again, the tour that I always think about was August Burns Red, The Acacia Strain, My Children, My Bride. Like, it was a wild show and it brought everyone out because of that lineup, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, everyone has some knowledge of these guys, whether you've stuck with them. Like, honestly, I haven't stuck with August Burns Red.
Right.
And we'll talk about the reasons for that. But you listen to 3 songs and you get the gist of it. You know what I mean? So, like, we'll talk about it. But it is interesting because everyone does have the history with them. And so, this I feel like is a good band to talk about some of those things that we always talk about, but to be able to like actually point to a band that's doing it,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Right. I think the reason why it's not bugs me, but like I think that if you can't enjoy Thrill Seeker and Messengers, like, and you're into modern hardcore, I'm gonna call your bluff on that. Right?
I don't know.
It's dude. If and we were talking about this. Well, me and Chris were because you were ignoring us.
I was watching.
If if Thrill, you're watching. Okay, you're observing the
I was
stupidity.
watching. Little creeper in the corner.
All right. If Thrill Seeker and Messengers was released today, people would be all over it. Like people would be like, dude, this is so sick. Like I think it's a matter of time before this sound makes its way back in to popularity. And
So
I'm
you got
talking like the hardcore scene because not the overproduced stuff that it turned into, but like there are bands in the hardcore scene now that are not that far off of what Thrill Seeker and Messengers are. And
okay.
why do bands like Misery Signals get a pass when August Burns Red doesn't? Like there's a lot of those bands that like Bleeding Through gets a pass.
Dude, does Bleeding Through? Or is Bleeding
Yeah.
Through just had a resurgence? Because
No,
I think there's a difference.
I think Bleeding Through gets a pass. I think some of these bands you don't expect get a pass, even though they're
Okay.
not like a hardcore band.
So Misery Signals is an interesting one just because there was such an affinity and such a love for some of those their albums, and then just the way that they just stopped, that it kind of created this what could have been sense. So when they come back together, when they reunite and they play those few shows and stuff, like there's an excitement for it versus August Burns Red you can see 3 times a year.
Okay.
So like I think that
It's just a proximity problem.
yeah, I think it's just it has a little bit of that. It also has to do with like who you're touring with because like if Misery Signals stayed going and they were on the A Day to Remember tours, if they were touring with August Burns Red and stuff like that, would we
Okay,
be still talking about it the same way?
but like the Chariot gets a pass.
Chariot's not playing right now, so
Old
of
Norma
course they
Jean
get a
gets a pass.
pass.
Well, I'm talking about how we view it in the hardcore scene, right? Because and part of it is that like when we were talking to Rob, like there's a very famous quote from I think it's Ian McKay. I don't remember who it was actually, but they said that if I don't trust anyone, it might have been the guy from Agnostic Front that said, "Don't trust anyone that got into hardcore through metal." I don't think in like I don't think in the last 15-ish years or even like 20 years you can make that argument because like hardcore has strayed pretty far away from like being super punk influenced, right?
Yeah,
And it
that's
probably
fair.
happened with like Earth Crisis and All Out War and Integrity and a lot of these New York hardcore bands that like brought in a lot of the metal. And then you get into like the early 2000s stuff, you get into like Zabalba is a hardcore band, but sonically they're not. But like, so it's
Yeah,
like I'm talking about how we perceive them in the hardcore scene. Like the Chariot gets a pass, Every Time I Die gets a pass,
yeah,
Secure Guns gets a pass.
man,
Like,
that's such an interesting quote because what would he think about people who got into hardcore through like post hardcore and metalcore
it's
and
kind of how
like
we did, right?
exactly
Yeah.
like yeah, I mean at that point he's like, oh dude, you got in through metal, hell yeah, like at least you didn't get in through this post hardcore bullshit everyone's
Right.
talking about.
Yeah.
This
So,
post hardcore that's not quicksand post hardcore, right? Fugazi
yeah.
post
Right.
hardcore. So
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
like
So
nah,
I
it
don't
is
know. It's just
interesting.
that's like my question about August Burns Red is because like I think especially like at least their first 3 albums, like Thrill Seeker, Messengers, Constellations, like I don't know how you could be like a modern fan of what hardcore is now and like not appreciate these albums because like sonically it's not that different. And so like I would be curious if you're in like 2008 and you're exclusively in the hardcore scene, if you listen to Messengers and you're like why would you not give that a pass, but you would give some of these other bands? And like the Chariot toured with these guys, right? Like the Chariot and Every Time I Die were not touring with like 100 Demons or Earth Crisis or stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, but they get a pass in the hardcore scene. So I don't know. It was just, this is like, I was just thinking about this and I thought it was an interesting thing because I was like, I feel like if Messengers dropped today, people would lose their mind over it. I mean, the
So here,
breakdowns are ridiculous, dude.
okay, but here's the question: it, would it have to be under a different band?
Yeah, I'm saying if Messengers, just the
Like
songs were
this
released
is
today.
so we're talking August Burns Red just started. It's still their second album.
Uh-huh.
Fair. Okay.
Do you think I think people are losing their mind over it, right?
I do. I do. Especially with the kind of current wave of metalcore that is happening again as well. Like, sure, some of that other metalcore is a little bit more. I don't even know the way to describe it. Catherine-y, right?
Yeah.
Where, but like, yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think that this stuff hits so heavy. Like, even the Thrill Seeker 20th anniversary re release sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
Sounds so good. So, this is the question though, because this is what we had talked about. Kind of along those same lines, Thrill Seeker, Messenger, Constellations, even Leveler to an extent, right? Leveler was a solid album too.
Mhm.
Uh, what happens if you flip the order of their releases? What happens if Death Below, Guardians, Phantom Anthem were their first releases, and then you got these albums later? Do you just get the just different nostalgia? Is all of a sudden everyone being like, those first three albums, Death Below, Guardians, and Phantom Anthem,
Well,
were the incredible ones?
I don't think so. I think that there's like enough uniqueness in like Thrill Seeker, Messengers, and Constellations that like this is the problem with August Burns Red. This is why I want to talk about them. Is like none of their albums are bad,
Right.
but when I was listening to them, I could only get through Constellations, and then after that, I was like, I don't know that I can listen to this anymore. Not that it was bad, I just got bored because it was like, how many times can we have a breakdown with the China, you know,
Right. Right.
before it's like, okay, guys, like I get it. Like there's some fun stuff in it, like in Rescue and Restore, the song Creative Captivity. Creative Captivity. I can't even talk.
Come on, man.
Where they have like a trumpet at the end of it.
Okay.
It's an interesting song. They do like fun stuff, right? And like I appreciate that, but all the rest of it, dude, like if you put this on shuffle outside of the first three albums, could you tell me what song and album's off of?
No.
No.
But this is what I was saying is like, I actually lost interest with August Burns Red pretty early on. To be honest, like, I didn't even really listen to Messengers that much. I
That's
loved
crazy.
Thrill Seekers. Messengers had the couple of songs. You know, you had Backburner,
Wild.
you had Composure, and all that kind of stuff. Like that out. Like, I'm not saying the album's bad. Like, the album's great front to back, but it's still a little bit repetitive. I did listen to Constellations, but then that was really the last album that I really listened to. Like, I listened to Leveler when it came out. I listened to Rescue and Restore when it came out. I totally skipped Phantom Anthem.
Yeah.
But then I did listen to like Guardians when it dropped, and I actually like their last release for what it is, Behemoth. Like, in
Yeah.
terms of like a current metalcore song, if you want to group them in that overproduced kind of octane metalcore, it's a great song. It's better than most of them coming out, right? Like, I do think that it's a good song. Having a consistent average song length of 4 minutes and 15 seconds, I think, is what kills it for me.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Because, like, and can you think of a band who's doing this? Is there a band who's putting this level of metalcore riffs and stuff like that, breakdowns, but keeping it to 2 minutes and 30 seconds? Or are they all like this?
I don't know. No. No, I that was one thing that's on my notes that I wrote down was song length and album length,
Yeah.
which I usually want albums, but it's like
Hour and 15, hour 20. I can't do
All
it
of
anymore.
yeah, all of their albums, like I guess Messenger is only 48 minutes, but almost all their albums are close to an hour,
Yeah.
and it's just like, and it's hard to when like they blend together, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
so like maybe hardcore has just like ruined our attention span. I struggle with songs that are like over 3 minutes and 30 seconds is probably the most that I can get through. And that's on the long end of it, you know?
Right. Whoever puts out a band like this and keeps songs to 2 minutes and 30 seconds is going to blow the world away.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. Give us insane metalcore that is just like solid riffs, solid execution, crazy breakdowns, and then just cut it. You don't need the bridge, you don't need
Right.
the extra, just cut it. And I think it would go super hard.
So maybe that's where some of the problem is, right? Is like maybe it's because they did too much of the fluff that it attracted a different group and puts them in a different category, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
'Cause, like, I don't know, like you listen to Thrill Seeker, right? Like it's a very raw album. You know, this is 2005 or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Um, it's a very raw album. It's got like pretty heavy stuff,
Oh, dude, there's great
but
stuff on here.
like most of these songs are over three. Like first song 4 minutes, second song 4 minutes, third song 3 minutes 10. You know, it's like very long. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of like extra metal parts in it that maybe
Yeah.
people that did get into hardcore through punk that are 45-second songs and there's 4 chord progressions in it.
Can't do
That's
it.
it, you know. And you listen to this and you're like, this is just Pretty Boys trying to play cool guitar, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I love Thrill Seeker. I think that this album is incredible. Whether 2005 or today, I think that it still holds up. The song Endorphins, song number 3,
Hmm.
dude, you can't tell me that Gwen Stacy didn't pull off of this song.
Sure.
Like that opening riff that they do there, I was like, oh, dude, this is a Gwen Stacy song, like 100%. You know what I mean? Like it sounds so good, so cool. Speech Impediment, Barbarian, those songs, easy stack up against any other song that these guys have put out. Like these
Yeah.
are great, great songs. It's a little bit more raw. You get a little
Mhm.
bit more like palm mute, like stompiness in Thrill
Yeah.
Seeker that you don't get in the later albums, because instead of like the stompiness of moving like da, 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 down the fret and stuff like that, they open it up to like a more airy, atmospheric, more modern metalcore sound on the newer albums. And I think if they were to just go back to some of that stompiness, like yeah, I think that they could put out an insane album that could be
Yeah.
well received again.
I don't think they're ever gonna do it.
I don't
Um
either, but that's
ship
really
it
what the
ship it stuff for
difference
'em.
is, though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that, there's not too much to it that makes a difference in between Thrill Seeker and uh their latest release. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would like it would be super sick to like talk to these guys because I would be very interested to know where their influences came for this album.
So I looked that up a little bit.
Okay.
Not necessarily for this album, but I did look up like JB, some of the people that he based it off of. And the one that he mentioned that caught my attention because it was a band that I listened to a lot and an album I listened to was Between the Buried and Me,
Okay.
Alaska. And that makes sense
Yeah.
of the progression and things like that. And one of the things that I was thinking of when I was like thinking through what to talk about with these guys is at what point did they go from like when I saw them with the Acacia Strange and My Show My Bride, when we saw them with those guys, and people were swinging hard and moshing hard to them, to people now sitting there watching JB and admiring his fingering and like his, yeah, you heard what I said, and like his guitar work and stuff like that instead of the pit.
Yeah.
You know, like it turned into you got more Berkeley metal kids coming to watch these guys than people going to swing for them.
Yeah.
And the point that that switched was probably around Rescue, whatever that
Rescue
album
Restore.
is, Rescue and Restore, right? Because I think even Leveler, because we saw him, it was probably a Warp Tour or something. I still feel like it was a pretty aggressive pit.
Yeah, that could be a product of Utah, though.
It could be
Swing on anything in Utah.
fair, fair, but yeah, I mean, like
That is. I mean, no, like so. I agree 100% with what you're saying, and that's kind of where I was going into of like influential 2005, like outside of bands in the hardcore scene, bands like Integrity.
mm-hmm.
Like, who else is really playing stuff like this? Like it's kind of because like we would listen to like Oh Sleeper or we would listen to Haste Today, and it didn't feel as aggressive as like Thrill Seeker did. And so
Right.
even Old Between the Buried and Me still had like way too much artsy fartsy guitar stuff, right?
Yeah, the musicianship was up there for sure.
And like I get the like I get the Chariot type influence with like Converge and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like where did Thrill Seeker come from? That's like what I want to know, because how can you like where are you pulling that influence that's not directly from the hardcore scene and then being involved in the hardcore scene? Because like right out the gate, looking at some of their concerts in like 2006 and stuff, I mean, they're playing with all the bands you would expect them to be playing. The Chariot, Inhale, Exhale, Destroy the Runner. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Between the Buried and Me, Chiodos. It's like some of these bands that we've talked about, you know, cut their teeth with like the hardcore scene. These guys, it doesn't really feel like that, right? It feels like they were instantly dropped in to the like metalcore scene that ended up being what people made fun of. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, some of the bands that do pop up when you start to think about this, and another one that JB pointed out was Unearthed, right?
Okay. Okay,
Like
that's a band
Unearthed
that gets
starts
a
to pop
pass
up.
though.
Sure. Um, like Kill Switch. So here's the thing: is they're actually pulling from what we would consider like current metalcore, right? But they had a little bit more of an aggressive flair. So if you want to put like an Unearthed with like a Kill Switch, like that kind of makes sense. You
Yeah.
also got to remember that 2002 is when As I Lay Dying drops Shadows Our Security,
Okay.
and
That's it. That's
2000
it then, right?
2001,
That's it
right,
then.
is they had, was it Frontwards Collapse, is that the album,
I think
the
so.
kind of, is that what it's called? um so you did have these metalcore bands. They were there. We feel like Thrill Seeker was earlier than it
Okay.
was. It's really not. Because like then you start looking back, Shai Hulud was still around way before this. Misery Signals was even around way
Yeah.
before this kind of thing. Poison the Well was around before this. Like there's actually a lot of stuff happening around this time.
So
Um,
I guess my comment about that though is like that weren't part of the hardcore scene, right? Like, do you think they were listening to Shai Hulud? Do you think they were listening to I don't know. Unearth's a good one. As I Lay Dying's a good one. That's all fine. I get
yeah,
that.
I mean,
So, but I don't
whether
know. I don't know.
whether they're associated with the hardcore scene or not, right? That's just a matter of who you're hanging out with. Because
Yeah.
like music style wise, it all just kind of goes in there. Some of like the really abrupt, like the China hits and stuff like that, what we associate with like As I Lay Dying, or excuse me, with Burns Red, like their breakdown style and stuff like that, that's coming from like Meshuggah. That's coming from like
Mm,
Slayer and stuff like that. That's like the metal
yeah.
influence, you know what I mean? And then the again, that chugging, that down palm muting and stuff like that. That's pulling from the Unearths. That's pulling from the As I Lay Dyings, the people who are then going to be more associated with the scene and things along those lines. So, like, I think that they just came from a pretty diverse metal
Yeah.
background, is probably where this comes from. slotting it into I want to see people hit people.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess with the research, like the surge, the it's not a resurgence because it hadn't really been done a whole lot, but I guess the introduction of a lot of the deathcore stuff probably makes sense too, right? Where they
Yeah,
could kind of fit in because at least these first three albums, like it was like me back in 2007 or whenever to see them with the Acacia Strain made complete sense to me.
100%.
In 2026, they're probably not playing with the Acacia Strain. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
but that's also because they've been nominated for Grammys and crap like that. Like,
yeah.
like it's just a different
So
feeling, a
let
different
me ask
thought
you,
in
like, I
general.
want to ask one more question about this, and then we can get into like some of their albums. So I just think this is an interesting discussion because, like, I definitely have a soft spot for Messengers. Like, I like Thrill Seeker. I think it's really good. Messengers to me was like the bomb, dude. Like, it rocks. Um, do you think that August Burns Red was the beginning of the end of metalcore? And when I say the end, it's like the beginning of what would turn into like the overly post produced.
There was a few bands who were definitely riding that line. August Burns Red definitely plays a part in that. But I think where that line swapped was actually some of the post hardcore bands that decided to lean into the metalcore side of things. So I'm thinking of like Memphis Mayfire
Mm,
and
okay.
stuff like that. What was that Memphis album called? Because that was the first time where I was like, oh, this band is 100% changed to kind of cater to their sound.
Yeah,
It was it the Hollow? Is that the one I'm
might have been.
Yeah, it was the Hollow.
I
Yep.
honestly did not listen to Memphis after their EP. I don't know any of their songs.
Like this is exactly what I'm talking about. So you go listen to like Memphis Mayfire and stuff like that. Miss May I is another
Bring,
one of those bands.
Bring Me the Horizon. That was one that somebody threw out. You think?
Bring Me the Horizon's interesting because they have done so much. They
Okay,
went from like deathcore hated, you know what I mean, to a little bit more metalcore style to now like I don't listen to Bring Me the Horizon, but just a more experimental sound and stuff like that. Like, yeah, sure, I can definitely see because people followed Bring Me the Horizon, so they probably took aspects of what Bring Me was doing to start to change the sound and the direction of metalcore. So yeah, I could see that too, especially with the way that like deathcore followed it as
mm,
well.
yeah,
Um, but it was definitely like the rise bands who went from having this interesting post-hardcore, in Memphis's cases, southern flair kind of thing, a little bit of chaotic rock, but a little bit more structured and stuff, to going to just a straight
butt
we're
rock.
just going to crash the whole time and then do the August Burns Red overlaying riff on top of someone just chugging. Like, yeah, I think that August Burns Red laid the groundwork for some of that, but then some of these bands pushed it, and then August Burns Red just kept doing it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that. Memphis Mayfire is a really good call. Them and like a day to remember. I think
See, yeah,
probably might
even A
have.
Day to Remember though kept a little bit of their own flair because like they would have pop punk songs, they would have their heavy songs,
Yeah,
they would have random just radio rock songs. Like A Day to Remember is one of those bands where while I don't listen to them today, it does feel like, let me say it this way, they tried to do everything they could to be popular,
yeah.
if that makes sense. But it wasn't just one sound because like August Burns Red wants to be popular with the metalcore scene.
Mm,
That's what it feels like. A Day to
okay.
Remember wants to be popular with everyone, which is
Everyone.
why they collab with Marshmello. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the difference there. So no, it's interesting for sure.
Yeah. So, just to kind of talk a little bit about music with them, I don't know that we will be able to go through every album.
I
There's
can't
really
talk
not.
to every
There's
album.
not a
That's
ton
the
to talk
problem.
about with every album. Which, if August Burns Red ever listens to this, we're not taking a shot at you guys. Like, your music's good.
Let me
Your
make
music's
that
good.
very clear. Everything that they do It's good. It's a hundred
Yeah.
percent good. But it goes back to your point that you made earlier of after the first three albums, if you put those last albums on shuffle, I can't tell you what song comes from where.
Right.
I can't. Now that's a little bit of me just not keeping up with you, right? Like I haven't given these albums the listening capacity that I have other bands and stuff like that. But again, there's only so many opening riffs to breakdowns to bridge to closing riffs that you can do and differentiate enough for me to notice.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we had texted about is how do you break that up? How do you change that? You have to have an incredible line grabbing lyric or something that's memorable that people are going to refer back to that song for. And I don't have that with them because I don't listen to their stuff,
Mhm.
but maybe that's where we're lacking. Maybe we are lacking in their lyrical depth or some of the vocal performances of Jake. But I it all
Well,
sounds the same to
and
me
it's
at some
interesting you
point.
say that because we've talked crap on bands that have changed their sound a lot, right? That's like a running joke on this pod.
Mm-hmm.
Is us saying that this is the first band that we've talked about that has this kind of longevity that has not changed their sound.
Yeah.
I, like I just respect to them that you can go 20 years or whatever and be as consistent and as good and talented. You've kept the same members. That's incredible. Like you have not put out bad music. I think that you and I have just kind of like grown out of it. I maybe people could construe that as like a negative thing to say, but it's like, you know, I think you and I have leaned more into more of the raw, not as produced, you know, very aggressive. Cause like I still listen to a ton of metalcore, but it's more like sentence metalcore, you know? It's more
Mm-hmm.
like Walls of Jericho metalcore. It's more of which I guess people just consider metallic hardcore now, but it's like I don't know. And so I don't have a problem with any of these albums. And it's like it just doesn't grab me the way that it used to. However, I can still listen to Thrill Seeker, Messengers, and Constellations purely based off the nostalgia factor of it. And, you know, very much enjoy those albums. So
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Just interesting. I mean, respect to these guys to have 20 years of doing this and to be as good as they are.
So
So
where do you think you first caught these guys? Was it from a show? Like how did we come across August Burns Red?
probably MySpace.
Just a MySpace thing?
Probably. I don't know, dude. How do we find any of these bands? We maybe they played a show.
I mean, a lot. Some of these bands we very clearly know. Like we talk about the first time. Like I know when I found Parkway Drive. I know when I found some of these bands. August Burns Red kind of just felt like they were there. Maybe it was like it was probably like AP Magazine. Is
Maybe.
probably what it was. But
Yeah. It
like
could have been like a recommended artist too from like someone. I don't know.
you had Thrill Seeker's album, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember looking at the album cover for Thrill Seeker and being like, dude, that shit goes hard. You
Yeah.
know?
No, and honestly, that's what I remember too.
Yeah.
Is I actually remember being in your car and seeing Thrill Seeker and being like, "Oh damn. Like this
Yeah.
is cool. Like I like the graphics of it. I like the artwork behind it and then those songs again. Like I remember Barbarian
Yeah.
and that opening just fast chugging and everything like that. So sick, so dope. Like it was fun. And I very, very much remember this album. I remember Messengers when it came out, and everyone loved it.
Hmm.
And I was just like, it's just a repeat.
That's so weird.
It is weird. It is weird because it is an upgrade. Like they did do really good with it. Backburner, Composure, An American Dream.
Yeah.
Those songs, insane.
Dude, my like one of my favorite songs is probably Up Against the Ropes because
Just
that
okay.
breakdown, the breakdown at the end, it's like "Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da," and then it like goes into the tempo change where it's like dun, 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 da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, and
Yeah.
he's like hitting the China. And I remember hearing that like tempo change and just being like, dude, that was it's like blew my mind
Yeah.
to hear that, you know, because the only other time I'd heard anything like that would have been Misery Signals, and this was like it just I don't know, it just felt different. It was like faster, but they still had the same type of tempo change. And I remember like Up Against the Ropes is so freaking good, you know.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's phenomenal. I think what bothered me about August Burns Red was the song lengths. I'm like, I don't have 5 minutes to get to
Yeah,
that breakdown. Like it's a sick breakdown, but
uh,
especially on like a CD,
right.
like
You can't
five
skip it and
minutes is a
stuff.
long freaking
No,
time. Here's the problem: you could leave your house, drive to school, and not be done with one
I'll be done
song.
with one song.
Like,
Yeah,
it
you gotta
caused
admit though, dude,
problems.
those freaking bass drops in Messengers in my car,
Yes,
like, dude, it would shake the whole car. Like, so they had some of those
nasty.
bass drops that were like, and like my whole car would shake and stuff, you know.
And that was one of the reasons that we loved August Burns Red, was feeling the vibrations of the sub in the back, like the double bass, and just cranking it and driving around town. It was sick. It
I
was
mean, we
way
were
dope.
definitely cranking it.
Oh
So
yeah, no, for sure. Well,
I have one of my
uh,
favorite memories of them, and I think it was after this album. When did they play "Scream the Prayer"? It was after this album, right? It would have been like 2008, because
probably.
Constellation wasn't out yet. I don't think. I think
I
it was
don't think so.
Messengers.
Yeah.
Do you remember the show? And like Jake's PA went out, and
They
so
stood up there, just screamed
he
at all of
stood up
us.
on top of the speakers and was just screaming without a
Yeah.
mic. And I'm like, dude, that's so sick. It
Yeah.
was so sick to see that. And you like stuff like that, because it's like, you know, like that probably sucks. That probably sucks being a front man and like, oh, my mic's not working, you know, and like, you know, it's probably hard. But he just like put the mic down and got up on the speaker and was just screaming at us without a speaker, and it like boosted my energy. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go hit a bunch of people right now.
Right.
Like I very vividly remember that, and I had a ton of respect for it. They always were super awesome to see live, you know.
Yeah. No, that's the crazy thing is, yeah, I think it was probably the 2000, maybe it was just the Scream the Prayer tour, or maybe it was like the 2008 Warp tour. We saw him a couple of times, like quite a bit from like 2007 to 2008. And Constellation comes out in July of 2009. So this is after we're graduated from high school. And I remember getting a copy of this, but the only reason I got a copy is because I had just seen them so many times,
Okay.
and their vibe was so awesome. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I'll be honest, I don't think I ever actually owned a copy of Thrill Seeker or Messengers. Maybe I did, like a burnt copy or something like that. But most of my August Burns Red was being in the car with you guys. It was being in your car, it was being in Chris's car. Um, Spencer was a pretty big August Burns Red fan when
Yeah.
he was turning on like metalcore and stuff like that. So like yeah, like most of it was driving around with you guys. Constellation was the first one that like I got and I listened to like quite a bit because like I had a copy that I had kept in my car. So like Whitewash, Mariana's
Hey,
Trench,
all
the
those
Escape, like those three right in a row, Whitewash, Mariana's to the Escape Artist, like it's awesome. Like,
whitewash. The intro with the guitar is just. I mean, it's so good.
yeah,
And the breakdown where he's like, "You're the straw that's breaking my back. You're the salt that's burning my wound," or whatever it says. It's just like
yeah,
it's nasty, dude. It's so good. It is
yeah,
so good. And I love the Mariana's Trench breakdown, because it's almost like a speed metal breakdown.
yeah,
Or like Mega Man almost. You know, they have like Mega Man riffs in this. But the
yeah,
Mariana's Trench one especially. Dude,
yeah,
it's so good. It's
yeah,
so cool. Like it's just so cool, you know?
yeah. No, 100%. These are the albums that are absolutely phenomenal. They're incredible for sure. And I remember Leveler. I remember Leveler coming out, and I remember like Pangea. I'm trying to remember what
Empire,
were the
dude. The
singles.
first song with the like that goes right into the breakdown.
Is that the one? I
Yeah,
I
the
specifically
breakdown's like
remember
10
Pangea
seconds into
because
the song.
Pangea got covered by like three people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it got covered by a bunch of people. So, but it was one of those things where I like, oh yeah, Empire's sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those things where I was just like, I just like, what's happening in 2011? What else is coming out around then?
I don't know.
This was definitely during the period where I was listening to a lot of you know what I was listening to? I was listening to the Wonder Years, The
Mm,
Greatest Generation, which I'm pretty sure was 2010. Um, I listened to a ton of pop punk during this time. I was listening to Neck Deep. I was listening to the Wonder Years. I was definitely on more of a pop punk trend than I was metalcore and stuff like that, except for like the bands who like I followed historically
yeah,
or whatever. So yeah, this was definitely an album where I was just like, I was listening to the heavy stuff I was listening to. I was listening to a lot of For Today, Plea for Purging, a lot of
mm,
like that kind of stuff. And I was just like, yeah, August Burns Red is just, they're the prototype. They're the
yeah,
prototypical metalcore band. And I was more attached to some of those other ones.
yeah,
Like that's definitely what was happening for me at this time. And then
yeah.
after
I don't.
that, I just never caught back on.
To be completely honest with you, I don't. This might be the first time that I've listened to Leveler all the way through.
Uh huh.
I did listen to Rescue and Restore when it came out.
Okay.
This is the first time I'd listened to Found in Faraway Places, Phantom Anthem, Guardians, Death Below. The first time I've listened to any of those.
I
So,
remember Found in Faraway Places. I didn't listen to it a ton. I listened to it one or two times when it came out.
so
Um,
how do you feel about the instrumental versions? Do you like the bands that do that?
this goes back to the Berkeley comment I made
Okay.
earlier because there are people who like to study or read books to music in their ears, but they don't necessarily want to have lyrics because they don't want to be paying attention to what people are saying, right? August Burns Red they're incredible musicians. Their
Yeah.
musicianship is phenomenal. It makes sense for them to do an instrumental version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not doing instrumental versions of Earth Crisis. You're not doing instrumental versions of
You don't want
Hatebreed.
to hear just like straight chugs for
You're not
30
doing
minutes?
instrumental versions of Suicide Silence and Deathcore.
Probably could. You probably could some of those.
Hmm.
These guys were pretty good
You're
musicians.
doing instrumental versions of metalcore where the guitar work is
Yeah.
more of the highlight and stuff like that. I'm totally fine with it. I'm
Yeah.
not listening to it. I understand the place though that it plays and serves because there are people like I do remember our buddy who I lived with up in college being like, yeah, dude, I have my playlist of bands that I listen to while I'm studying. I'm like, you're psycho. But I could see you listening to an instrumental version of an album over one with vocalist.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not I can study the music. I usually just put on like classical music or like as cheesy as it is, like lo-fi music. Um, I can't listen. I mean, I could not study listening to an August Burns Red album, even if it's instrumental. I couldn't
Yeah,
do it. So
that's fair.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting that they have two albums, only two that they did with uh, Phantom Anthem. They redid Constellations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know how I feel about that. I thought Constellations was fine. I thought the sound quality is fine. I don't know why they need to remix that. I get doing the Thrill Seeker 20th, but at the same time, I would much rather listen to the original version.
So the Thrill Seeker 20th is interesting because they had different vocalists at the time.
Yeah,
So, like, that makes sense to me. He actually jumps on the Barbarian cover, or I call it a cover, reissue, which is pretty dope. I do like that. My guess is they'll probably release a 20th of Messengers next year for the
yeah.
same reason. Jake wasn't the one who was involved with that.
Wasn't he?
So,
I thought he did do Messengers.
no, Constellation's the first one that he did. So they record, my understanding, they recorded Messengers and then he joined.
Huh? Because you sure?
Fairly certain. Um,
I could swear that maybe. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know.
Vocals on
Because it says Jake
Messengers.
replaced it was in 2006. I swear Jake's on Messengers.
You're probably. I think you're right. Actually, I'm looking at this now. They
I
did
could
have a
swear it was
vocalist in
just Thrill
between
Seeker.
though. They had a vocalist between Thrill Seeker and Messengers. That so he's actually the third one. Um,
He's
but
played
it
shows with them, right?
doesn't look like they recorded with him. I thought they recorded Messengers and then he jumped on. But
Hmm.
anyways,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what they do with Messengers if they
so
redo
what
it
do you
all.
think about a song like off of Found in Faraway Places, Ghosts? Has Jeremy McKinnon on it, but like this is very interesting to me. This like opening kind of distant guitar, it's very slow, drawn out, and then they layer in like a drum pattern underneath it, like just like a interesting intro. Like, do you like songs like this?
It's got to be done right. It's fine. Um, I feel like the Ghost Inside does that better.
Yeah,
If I'm
Ghost
gonna
Inside
listen to
has a
this
few of those.
stuff, but I don't
There
have a
was a
problem with
Salt
it.
Lake band called Willows that they had a song called Ghost Dance that did this phenomenally. Like Ghost Dance is like one of my favorite like Salt Lake songs that
Mm,
has come out. Like it's such an interesting like take, and like the thing with like Willows is like they have like some like talking, some like whispering and stuff like that. Like it feels like ghosts, like kind of paranormal ish and stuff. And then they just go into some heavy stuff. So like I like it again when it's done right and everything. I actually think that song Ghosts is a pretty good take on it.
yeah,
Like, and I actually like the Jeremy McKinnon vocal in there. When is that the first time that they do clean singing? Was on that album, or do they have clean singing somewhere else?
I think I want to say they have song. There's like one song in another album that has like singing, but it's not
It's
like
not in the
singing
metalcore.
singing. Yeah, it's not singing. It's just like clean vocals.
Gotcha. Because
So
this again, this is 2015 now. So now this is going down that very prototypical current
yeah,
modern metalcore. You know, I think that this song's great though.
yeah,
I thought it was solid. So
yeah.
yeah.
I, I mean, Guardians was cool. You know what's funny is like I was on a flight a few years ago, and
Mhm.
like they have music on there, and Guardians was on there
No way.
as an option on like American Airlines. You can listen to music or whatever, and that was one of the like albums that was on there. I thought that was interesting.
That's very interesting.
I didn't listen to it. I didn't listen to Death Below when it came out. I did listen to Behemoth when it came out. Like you said, it's for what they are in 2026. Good song. I think the artwork for the single is freaking sick.
Yeah.
They've been very good visually with their stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. The only
So go ahead.
no, I don't have much more to say about it, man. Like these albums are fine. There's like if I was just like listening and if I was like with someone they're like they put August Burns Red on stuff, like I'm gonna be jazzed, right? Doesn't matter the album. I'll listen to it, I'll enjoy it. It's fine. First three albums, very important to me. It was a huge gateway to get into heavier stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's what a lot of like the consensus is online is like people appreciate August Burns Red for being a really good gateway. And that's why I thought it was funny the comment that I made earlier about, getting the hardcore through punk. Like I just don't know that you can say that anymore. Like there's so many avenues to it, and like especially modern hardcore, like this is a very good gateway band because they didn't soften up as they released more music. I mean, Parkway Drive softens up, Dover's Prada softens up. Like all these metalcore bands from that era softened up, and like they didn't, and maybe I've outgrown that sound a little bit, but I can appreciate the fact that like they have stayed consistent for 20 years. They've made heavy music for 20 years. You know, they're incredible with their instruments. They've stuck together. They seem like nice enough dudes. You know, they're obviously super goofy, wearing like flip flops and stuff up there
Mm-hmm.
playing, but they always put on a good show. Like I just like I've got nothing bad to say about August Burns Red, you know? And like if it wasn't for Messengers, I don't know that I'd be into like the same heavy music that I'm into now. So
Sure, fair. So let me ask you this. This was piggybacking off the episode that I did with Chris last time.
mhm,
We talked right at the end about anniversary shows.
yeah.
If they do a 2027 next year, if they come through playing Messengers front to back, is that one that you need to go catch?
I would be okay, so if I just knew it was August Burns Red playing Messengers all the way through, I'm about a 50-50 if I'm going. Until I saw who they're playing with. If
Interesting.
there's any inclination that there's another heavy band on there, like a true ass beating heavy band on there, then that bumps it up to like 70-80% I'm going.
Okay, let me ask you this.
But if they're playing with like The Word Alive or some crap like that, I'm not going. So cuz
Let's
I'm not
see.
going to go get in a fight during Messengers. So
That's fair.
like
Let me do this real
like
quick.
dead serious, man. Like cuz if I go there and I freaking hear Truth of a Liar, them starting with Truth of a Liar, and he starts in with that scream, like I'm instantly running at people, you know?
Yeah.
And if it's the crowd that thinks that like we're going to see, you know, Guardians August Burns Red, like I don't I just it's the crowd that's gonna kill it for me, not the band and what they're playing. So
Okay. So what other band, or let me ask you it this way. 2007 was also Plagues.
okay.
August Burns Red, Devil Wears Prada. You have Messenger and Plagues.
I'd go to that. That's enough to push me over
That's
the edge.
enough.
Yeah. And
All
shoot,
right.
dog, if you threw in like
At that
let's just
at
say
that
for shits and
point,
giggles, dude, you throw in When I Am God from O Sleeper, I'm there without a doubt. Without
2007 was an insane year.
for this kind of metalcore, absolutely. You know, shoot, dude, could you imagine? Okay, so we've got Messengers, we've got Plagues, we've got When
When
I'm
I Am
God,
God.
and then let's say I know it's a year late, but you throw in Redeemer.
Whew.
I'm selling a kidney to go to that, dude.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
dude, this
Absolutely.
2007 was wild if you think
Dude,
about it, because
2000,
freaking
2007 was insane.
2006, 2007 was insane because I guess Define the Great Lines 2006. No, Suck Out the Poisons 2006.
You know, I was actually just going to say this is the year. So 2006, 2007, 2008. There are insane albums.
Mm-hmm.
For
Dude, Pressure
what?
the Hinges, man. Throw Pressure the Hinges on there.
Sure. Yeah. For what we grew up with, right?
Yeah.
Why on earth has a Define the Great Line 20-year not been announced? Like,
Do you think they're like? Do you think they're just like we're done with that? No,
I
I mean
mean,
they did their Only Chasing Safety last or 2 years ago. So
right, but they kind of did their Only Chasing Safety and Define together. You know what I mean? So I almost wonder if that was kind of their we're
no
putting
way,
this to
dude.
bed.
I mean, when we saw them, they only played In Regards to Myself, Writing on the Walls. That was it. I don't think they played anything else off of To Find the Great Line, did they?
I don't think so. No, probably not because they were
So
playing they're Only Chasing Safety, right, in full.
yeah,
And
but then
then
at
we
the end they
got
played.
right, we got a couple songs.
Yeah.
Writing on the Walls, In Regards to Myself, and then we had um off of the Changing of Times. We
Well, they
also
played
had
Breathing in a New Mentality.
Breathing in a New Mentality. My
I feel bad
friends
about that one, dude. I think When the Sun Sleeps, they played
When the
that.
Sun Sleeps, and then what's the one off of They're Only Chasing Safety? Uh, my crowbar, whatever the crowbar song is.
I've got 10 friends and a
And the
crowbar.
crowbar, yeah, that's the one. So like that, those were the five, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That they played after. So, dude, I'm actually pretty shocked just knowing how big of a cash grab band Under Oath is these days that this wasn't announced on like January 1st
Yeah.
of we're going to be on the road 50 weeks this year and tickets are $120 and VIP passes are 250 and you know what I
You know what
mean?
they're
Just
gonna do, dude, is in like 2 years. In 2 years, they're gonna do Lost in the Sound of Separation, and I'm not gonna go to that because Define the Great Line was way more of an important album to me.
it was more of an important album. Lost in the Sound is incredible though.
It's
I'd go
good,
I'd go to Lost in the Sound. I don't think they're doing Lost in the Sound.
but I'm just saying, like they would do that. They would
Yeah,
do that and not do Define the Great Line. You know,
that's true. But no, that was just interesting with Messengers. If Messengers is enough for you to go
I
and
it's
see it.
being my age and like I don't because I would want to go and have fun.
Yeah,
And I don't know that August Burns Red brings out the crowd that would let me have fun.
it doesn't. It doesn't. In all honesty, I would expect that show would probably be at like the Maverick Center, where it's like a small pit area and a bunch of stadium seating
Yeah.
here in
Are they still
Utah.
pulling? Are they still pulling those numbers?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just talking about like in terms of like the way that the band is set up today
Mm,
and the type of crowd who's going to see the band today.
yeah.
Like or USANA, right?
But,
Like come sit on the lawn and watch us play Messengers. You know what I
I don't
mean?
know.
Like
You know, we say
this
that though, but like they took Boundaries out on tour, didn't they? Didn't Boundaries play, or did they play their like Christmas one? That's another thing we didn't talk about was their Christmas music because best Christmas music out there.
oh, and also Baby One More Time.
That's true. Forgot about that one. But yeah,
Like
I, they've taken a few other like pretty heavy bands out. I don't
they
know.
have.
Wasn't
No,
Guilt Trip with them? Didn't Guilt Trip play with them?
I don't know. Like, by no means do I feel like August Burns Red is Under Oath. Like,
Right.
I shouldn't have started talking about Under Oath because August Burns Red is at least still doing it somewhat right. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like even all the crap that I talk on, like Fit for a King and stuff like that, they at least take bands out like Boundaries and like some of these
Hmm.
bands that are coming up. Like the problem is, I hope they don't corrupt them.
They don't give them false hope about there's money to be made. You know,
Exactly.
heaven forbid any of these guys make money. It's I like don't do it. Be poor for the sake of you and me. You know.
200 cap room max is your entire career.
Yeah, seriously,
You
no
don't need
barricade. Come
anything
on,
else.
come on. Yeah,
Live in poverty or live on the road. You don't have to have
yeah.
a
What are
place
you
to go
doing? Like,
home to. What
dude,
are you talking
Haywire,
about?
Haywire just played 340 shows last year. Like, what are you talking about? You know?
Just to live on the road, have people
Yeah.
pay where you want to sleep. So
But nah, dude, like there's a few of these metalcore bands that like I think get way more hate than they should. And I think August Burns Red's one of them. And that's why I made that controversial statement is like if you genuinely cannot appreciate Thrill Seeker and Messengers, I don't know what to tell you. You
yeah.
know?
And here's the thing is I actually don't think they get the hate. I just don't think that they get I just don't think they get acknowledged.
Yeah.
I think that that's where they're at. I think that the final thing I'm going to say here is I think that August Burn Red sits in that area that everyone's just kind of like they're August Burns Red.
Yeah.
We don't love them, we don't hate them. Like the guitar
They are
work's
what they are.
incredible.
They are what they are.
Their breakdowns are phenomenal. Oh well.
Yeah.
Like yeah, they came through 3 times last year. I didn't catch them. Like
They're
it's just
Grammy,
like
won a Grammy and just whatever,
so I actually looked that up. They were nominated twice.
nominated.
They didn't win.
They actually win it.
Which
Was Turnstile the only one that's won one then?
no, Spirit Box. Didn't they win?
Hell if I know, dude.
I think Knocked Loose is the one that would be claimed by the hardcore community.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's another band too that like has not softened up with popularity. You know, if anything, they've gotten a little heavier.
Yes, but I also think that heavier has infiltrated mainstream a little bit more. It's actually kind of turning into what new metal turned into in the late 90s, early
Yeah,
2000s.
we've talked a lot about this. It won't though, because you'll go to a couple of these shows and be like, never mind.
That's true.
You're getting hit at a knocked loose show still in 2026, right?
Sure. Sure.
Like you're not getting hit at a turnstile show. You might get dove on if
Right.
if there's no barricade. I don't know how many shows they play without barricades now,
I
but
mean, there's going to be
you're
crowd
still
surfers coming over the top of you.
you are still probably getting hit at a knocked loose show,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
So
For sure. And I
respect.
mean, it may be from the guitarist who's hitting you.
It may be right. Yeah, dude.
It might be the vocalist who's
If
hitting
they
you.
take a heavy band out and like before the crowd is packed in for Knocked Loose, you're like the opener and there's like 30 people in the crowd and all of a sudden some dude just hitting you in the throat. Like it might be their guitarist, you know?
If it's a bald dude wearing pants that look 12 times too big for you, like, yeah,
It's either him or the dude from Orthodox, you know? You never know.
dude, freaking
You learned that one
Orthodox.
the hard way.
Dude, that kid.
You
So
still have his footprint on you, you know?
he's a freaking MMA fighter. It turns out he's
Well,
like,
seriously?
yeah, like when he's home from tour. This has gone way too long at this point, but when he when he's
You
home
guys
from
can leave.
tour,
Get in trouble for talking. You guys can just leave. It's all right.
he's a personal trainer and he's been taking MMA fights or
That's dope.
kickboxing fights. And yeah, I caught that square in the lip, man. That was nasty.
It's
So,
hilarious. But
dude, he
that's a
hit me
that
so
is
hard.
a good way to end this story, this episode. So
Yeah, go listen to Orthodox. Actually, listen to Orthodox.
Orthodox straight edge. Let's go.
All right,
All right. See you,
peace.
dude.